What's going on, everybody? It's 2:30. It's Sunday. I'm actually right now heading over to my mom's house to have dinner before I head back out to Drumright. So, going to be going there, leaving for Drumright around 6:30. Going to get there around 8. Got a little bit of studying to do when I get back there. And, get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow we got the range rules exam. It's going to be real easy. You got to score 100. It's how they do things on the range. So, and you got a couple chapters to read, but no test on that tomorrow. Just the range rules exam. The reason I'm posting this video to you guys is, my dad watches my videos back east, mentioned, give a little more insight as far as the chapters that you've tested for so far. So that's what I'm going to do, so I appreciate that. Because that's, I want to get the most knowledge out to you guys and kind of give you, maybe a heads up. It's not going to be as bad as you think or, as hard as you think, but it's always good to go in with a little bit of knowledge. Each school's going to do things differently, but, they're all going to hit the same stuff. So let's get right on that. First one was the control system exam. That simply just talks about the controls in your vehicle. You have your engine control, your primary controls, and your secondary controls. Those are your three major categories they put them all into. Engine controls is going to turn on the electrical to the vehicle, start the vehicle, stop the vehicle, turn off the electrical. Those are your engine controls. The second set is the primary, like I mentioned. The primary controls are things such as your clutch, steering wheel, all your levers in the vehicle, your tractor air supply valve, and your parking brake, your emergency brake. So those are your secondary or your primary controls. Just to hit on the clutch, they have 4 positions they want you to know for the clutch. It's the disengage when you're applying the clutch in, when you're pushing the clutch in, or you're pushing the clutch pedal in, and that's going to separate the drivetrain from the engine so you can either start the vehicle or switch gears. Your second position for the clutch is your free play. It's the first 1/2 to 2.5 inches when you're first pressing on the pedal, the clutch pedal, before you disengage or engage. So that's your free play. Then you have third, which is engaged. Engaged is when you're releasing the clutch pedal. It's after you've shifted gears. It's after you turned on the vehicle. You're engaging the drivetrain back to the engine to get the gears rolling again. So, and then the fourth one is your clutch brake. Those are your 4 major positions. Those they want you to know. That's on the test. And that, again, clutch is a primary, is your primary control, part of your primary controls. Your secondary controls are going to talk about things such as safety, your seatbelt, your door locks, vision, your windshield wipers, your headlights. Then you're also going to talk communication, your CB radio, your blinkers, letting people know what you're looking to do. So that's really the control exam, the control system exams. Wasn't hard at all. It was, fairly easy. So your next one that we took on the first day of testing, the second day of school, my second test was the vehicle system exams. The vehicle system exams were a good one. That simply takes your that talks about everything on the truck. It talks about from the treads, the different tires, all the gauges in your vehicle, everything in the motor that consists of the motor. All talks about lubricating the parts, such as gauges like the voltmeter, the ammeter, the pyrometer. Pyrometer is letting you know what the temperature of the exhaust is, of the exhaust fuel. So you got to keep, you want to make sure that's not running too hot. So they talk about pretty much everything on the truck, from your fifth wheel to they talk about the fifth wheel. They talk about your brakes, your inside the cab, inside the engine compartment. So they hit everything in there. That was a tough one. So study hard for that one. That's an important one. That's the one I got the lowest score on so far, but obviously still passed it. So just give a good time studying, and you should be fine with that. Got some trucks passing us now. Every time I see one, kind of get excited. You get that anticipation. You're ready to see what it's like to drive one of those. So anyways, that was the second one. You know, so you had the control system exam, the vehicle systems exam, and then we had the vehicle inspections exam. That is just simply goes over your pre-trip inspection, and for your inspections you have three. You have your pre-trip, your en route, and you have your post-trip. You have to do a pre-trip, and you have to do them all. Really, you want to do your en route, especially if you stop at a truck station. They always say you want to test your glad hands, and you want to make sure that you're still no one touches anything, and that safety is your number one goal, like I've said in the past. So, but they talk about what you have to do, what you have to hit, what you start with, what you finish with. Your pre-trip inspection, you gotta check everything from the lug nuts to your tires to your brakes to your fifth wheel, to your making sure all your lights work, making sure all your fluids are filled and at a good level, making sure that none of the wires in the engine compartment are damaged, make sure they're in good working condition. So that was that test. That test is not as hard as you would think. It was definitely a lot easier than the vehicle systems exam. So that was the third one, was the pre-trip, the vehicle inspections exam. So the fourth one was the basic control exam, and that's just how to control your vehicle. Talks about backing, talks about turning, talks about making turns off of a light, like a right or left hand turn, what you want to do. When you're taking a right hand turn off of a light, you want to use the button hook turn. You want to go straight and button hook around into your lane. You don't want to use the jug handle where you go out into your left hand lane and to cut back in. That's dangerous. Don't do the jug handle, do the button hook. Talk about backing. When you're looking in your mirrors and you're backing and you see your trailer start drifting to the left, you want to always turn your steering wheel the way of the drift of your trailer. So if you look in your left-hand mirror and your trailer is drifting that way, you want to turn your steering wheel that way to correct the drift, and you want to turn it back. They call it it's the push-pull method. So you push it to the side of the danger or to the side of the drift, and then you're going to want to pull it back to finish the correction. So that's really what the basic control exam was. That was extremely easy. Nothing to worry about there. As long as you read the chapter and do the questions that they give you at the end of the chapter, you'll be completely fine. So that was day one, those 4 exams. Day 2 started at, I actually have right in front of me, hours of service exam. That talks about all the regulations that's not driving the vehicle. How many hours you can drive in a day. How many when you have to take your 34-hour reset. If you hit over 70 hours, if you hit 70 hours in 8 days, you have to take a 34-hour reset, where you can't drive for 34 hours. So they're talking about all the regulations. They talk about filling out your daily logbook, which is very important. You have to, you can get fined, you can get put out of service for not, filling out your logbook, or for not keeping enough back. You have to keep the last 7 days. So on the 8th day, you can throw out that first one. But besides that, you have to keep them. You have to keep them 7 days up to date. You have to always keep them up to date from your last. I believe they said your last stop. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's really all jumbled up here. I've done so much studying in the last 2 days. I'm sure when I get out of the class, when I'm looking for a job, I'm probably gonna run through my book again. I just want to make sure. I get everything in track. I don't want to miss anything. When I'm out there on the road, and I'm sure I'm not. Once we get on the range tomorrow and we do that for the next 18-20 days, it's going to be muscle memory. So you're going to do things. You're going to get hands-on experience, and that's how I learn better anyways, hands-on. Reading is good, but there's nothing like getting the actual practice. So hours of regulations, that was the first one we took on Friday. That was one of 3 on Friday. The second one that we took was the vehicle backing exam. That one was easy too. It talks about 4 ways of backing: your straight line backing, straight line parking, alley dock parking, and it talks about parallel parking, because now you know, I don't know when they made that change, but now for your, you know, to get your CDL, you have to parallel park. But the parallel parking, you know, once you get the vehicle parallel, you want to leave your tractor pointed at a 45-degree angle so it's easier to get out, you know. So it's not like you're backing the trailer up and then you're also making sure that tractor is straight. You know, you want to give yourself easy way out. So that was that. That was the second one. You know, again, it talks about drifting, and when you're backing up, you want to turn your wheel to the drift and turn it back. So that's a real easy exam. Shouldn't even have a problem. Again, they review the test before you over at Central Tech, so it makes it even easier as long as you can hear. So the last one we took on day 3, the 7th test in the last 2 days, was the coupling and uncoupling. That is attaching your tractor to your trailer. That's another real easy one. You know, it just talks about, I think there's 16 checkpoints when you're coupling and 8 when you're uncoupling, something like that. You know, you want to make sure before you back up into the, you know, to the trailer, that you test your you want to make sure you're aligned, you're straight, you're positioned up to the trailer so you can go straight back to the kingpin. You want to back up slowly. You don't want to hit the kingpin too hard. You don't want to damage your tractor, or the trailer, or the kingpin. Because, you know, once the kingpin's in your fifth wheel, that is the pivot point from the tractor to the trailer. So you need that working in good condition. No, you know, obviously not bent, not damaged. But coupling, you know, they talk about making sure that you, you know, you put, you know, your air supply line, your service line, and your emergency lines for the glad hands when you connect in the trailer and the tractor's air supply. You want to make sure those are correct. You want to make sure there's no dust, no cracks on the rubber part that, you know, seals those two glad hands together. Putting in your electrical cord. So they talk about all that. You know, making sure your fifth wheel is tilted a little bit down towards the back, and so that your trailer can go right into it. So you don't want to be too high, too low. You'll run under, or the, you know, and then you'll damage the tractor. You can damage the trailer. When you're backing out, when everything's, you know, disconnected, you want to make sure that you pull up forward only enough to where you still have the back of your tractor under the trailer. So in case the landing gear doesn't hold, you know, it doesn't damage the trailer. You know, it should hold on that. So coupling, uncoupling, real easy. Those were the 7 tests. I'm sorry I couldn't get too in depth. If I did, it would take 4 or 5 parts to it. So I'm here at my mom's house. I'm gonna go relax for the next 3 hours before I hit the road. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, subscribe, leave some comments below if you want. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and just to hit, I'm a sports guy. I know you know, a lot of you guys just come to this for trucking, but Real Madrid won. I was pumped about that. Yankees came back from 9-0, won. I was pumped about that. You know, Ronaldo got the goal. Jeter's still doing good. So it was a great weekend. Got to spend time, family, and my girlfriend, so I can't complain. Next week, hopefully, I, you know, maybe get to kick it with some of my boys and maybe play some basketball. You know, but anyways, you know, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. Remember, keep subbing, keep subscribing, subbing, and keep commenting. And I will see you guys Tuesday. Peace.